9 years ago, I had an experience that I still can't fully explain. Maybe it was my brain playing tricks on me, but it was unusual, as nothing similar has happened to me since. When I was a teenager, my friend, let's call her Sarah, and I went to a local festival that our town hosts annually. This event is essentially a community gathering with street shops, live music, and the like. It's actually quite boring. However, one special feature is the opening of several historic buildings that are typically closed all year, except for this day. Now this part is a bit cringy, but we were weird teens after all. We thought it would be fun to enter the largest of these buildings and search for ghosts or anything paranormal, since we were pretty into that stuff back then. We wandered around the building, which is an old cabin from the 1860s, but the presence of other people somewhat ruined our experience. We decided to wait until everyone else had left before going up to the second floor to start recording. The upper floor of the cabin isn't very big. Once you climb the stairs, you face a small child's bedroom. There's also a short hallway to the left that leads to the master bedroom, with another small closet area inside. That's all there is up there. Anyway, we went into the child's bedroom first and started recording in there. We joked about the mirror being haunted, made fun of a straw hat we found, and even joked about seeing a ghost in the window. However, nothing unusual actually happened. Once I got bored of that room, I decided to check out the master bedroom, but Sarah wasn't quite done looking yet, so she stayed. When I was in the master bedroom, I filmed around for a bit, and then filmed in the small closet, but again, I saw nothing. As I turned out of the closet, though, I was surprised by a girl I hadn't seen before. I didn't even hear her approach me. When she asked me what I was doing, and being the introvert that I am, I was embarrassed to be recording a closet, so I stopped recording, quietly, said nothing, and went outside to find Sarah. When I got outside, however, Sarah wasn't there, and a minute later she came out and asked, "Why did you just leave me in there?" When I explained that I thought she'd left me, and that I had encountered a random girl, Sarah said, "That was me, and you just ignored me." That's when things became really strange. The girl I saw didn't resemble Sarah at all. Sarah is short, blonde with blue eyes, and was wearing a white shirt with shorts that day. The girl I saw was much taller, had dark brown hair and eyes, a longer face, and was wearing a dark blue shirt. I never looked to see what type of pants she was wearing, but her voice was deeper than Sarah's as well. It was like talking to an entirely different person. After that, I really didn't believe that it was Sarah that I saw, so I decided to look at the recording. But of course it cut off while I was filming in the closet, just before the girl approached me. I distinctly remember stopping the recording after seeing the girl, since I was feeling embarrassed about filming in a closet, so that really confused me. It was like something you'd see in a horror movie, where you think you have proof only for it to miraculously disappear. Unfortunately, I don't even have the video anymore, since this was almost a decade ago. Even if I did, it would only show me filming the room before it abruptly ended in the closet. I'm sure anyone reading this might be skeptical, as I would be, but it's definitely one of the most unusual experiences I've ever had. As I said, it could have been my brain playing tricks on me, but you'd think experiences like this would happen to me more often if that were the case. Some of you may also think that I was just imagining it, since I was specifically looking for ghosts, but we'd done that countless times before, with nothing like this ever happening. I also don't think I'd imagine a ghost that looked so lifelike. This was like encountering any other person on the street. It didn't seem paranormal at all. All I know is that it's an experience I'll never forget. A rather long update. After replying to the comments, I was reminded of other experiences that happened after this that are related, so I'll tell them below. There are two things that I'd like to point out, however. I was 16 at the time, and she was 15, so we were young, but not little kids or anything like that. I'd also like to point out that Sarah and I were mentally in sync, if that makes sense. I mean, we thought almost exactly the same, to the point where it was creepy. We even used to make fun of it. She's a very positive person, and I'm a negative person, so we'd make fun of that old opposites attract proverb. I mean, we were so in sync that we'd have at least 12 jinx moments where we would say the exact same thing at the exact same time every time we saw each other, and these weren't common expressions. These were just random sentences and phrases every time. We actually wondered if we knew each other in past lives, and that's why we had that connection. I'm not sure if past lives are real, but if they are, I have no doubt that we'd have met. We also had this weird ability where we seemed to be able to sense when one of us was about to call or text. We'd get this feeling, and within a minute, it would happen. It was such a strong connection that our other friends even noticed it and pointed it out to us several times, so we know it wasn't just us. That all sounds completely made up, but it's not. I've never had that connection with anybody else in my life, and I'm afraid we lost it after she moved and we lost contact, but I cherish those memories. It was such an unreal experience, and one that I hope everybody can have at some point in their life, but I don't think many do. Anyway, the reason I decided to bore you with that long explanation is because when I saw this strange girl in the cabin that was apparently Sarah, it really did seem like a completely different person. I didn't have that special connection with this girl, and it was like talking to a complete stranger. I think that's one of the reasons why I remember the experience so well. Alright, now I'll get on to the other two experiences that I was reminded of that I think are related to this one. The first happened the afternoon we visited the cabin. During our time in the cabin, we took this old shoe buckle that we found. We weren't the best of people. That was about 1.5 or 2 inches long. And that afternoon, we were jumping on her trampoline with it, trying not to get hit by it, because why not? I distinctly remember that it fell off 5 times. Up until the 5th time it fell off, we had no problem seeing where it landed and retrieving it within a few seconds. But on the 5th time, we couldn't find it. We both saw exactly where it fell off, and it was right between the springs, so it couldn't have gone far. We both searched for it for about an hour, both under and within a 50-foot radius of the trampoline, but we just could not find it. I even went back a little later with my metal detector, and it was nowhere to be found. To this day, we've never found it, and we both joked at the time that it probably went to another dimension. The second experience is very similar to that one. We also took this old button from the cabin at the same time we took the buckle. Again, we weren't the best people. And after we spent about an hour looking for the vanishing buckle, we decided to do the same thing with the button. And I'm not kidding when I say that it also disappeared the first time it fell off. After that, we decided to just go inside because it was creepy that 2 things from the cabin disappeared in the same way. The difference here is that we actually found the button about a week later in the clothes basket in her closet, and she swears to me that she didn't go looking for it later. There's always the possibility that she did look for it and planted it there, but it didn't seem like she was lying, and we had an excellent ability to tell when the other was lying because of that special connection that we had. I do still have the button as well. Alright, that's the end for now. Upon reading it all, it does seem like a far-fetched tale, but this really was just one long, unusual series of events. I've never had anything quite like it happen before or since. I'm sure there could be a logical explanation for everything that's happened. Or maybe it was really just a series of unlikely coincidences. I'll never know for sure, so you can make of it what you will. I do know for sure that she and I had a connection, unlike anything that I've ever experienced. So I know at least that much is true, and maybe that connection is why these weird things happen to us. My son is 2.5 months old and only has so many clothes. I wash his clothes every week, and I dress him every day, so I know what clothes he has since I see them quite often. A few weeks back, my husband and I picked out some outfits for him from Macy's because we had a gift card. I saw the cutest gray onesie with blue foxes on it and bought it for him for bedtime. Tonight, during our usual bedtime routine, I dressed him in this onesie and laid him down for bed. My husband is playing on his game, and I had to run to the bathroom. On the way back to the room, I had some anxiety and wondered if this motherly worry would ever end. When I came back, I saw the exact same outfit on the bed. I can't describe the fear that I felt. It wasn't a scary movie fear, but I felt sick to my stomach and like something was wrong. My husband said he's always had 2 outfits, but I know for a fact he hasn't. I know every article of clothing he has. I've pulled every tag off of his clothes before I've put them on. I would have known if he had 2 of these. I feel very sick right now, and like I've changed universes without realizing it, and I don't know when. Okay, this freaked me out. A couple of weeks ago, I was painting in my studio. I do abstract stuff, so it's a lot of colors and shapes. Anyway, I saw a spot on the canvas I wanted to paint a dark red block in. I mixed the color on the plate, taped off the section, and painted it in, which took about 2 minutes. After I finished, I turned around to look at a painting I had on the wall behind me for about 30 seconds. When I turned back around to the painting I was working on, the color I had just painted wasn't there, but the plate had the remnant of the color, as if it had been used. This has me seriously freaked out. I had this strange experience yesterday, and after accidentally scrolling through this subreddit, I found my experience to be a bit interesting. From what I gathered, in simple terms, cats are close to the veil, so they can sometimes teleport. Anyways, I'm currently fostering 3 baby kittens. They're about to get spayed and neutered, then go to their forever home. When I'm not there to supervise them, they stay in my extra bathroom. It's also where their food, litter, cat tree, etc. is. I was running late to class, so I wasn't going to be able to let them run around my apartment before class like usual. So I was just going to quickly feed them in the bathroom, then leave. However, when I opened up the bathroom door, I swear I saw the little runt, Artemis, slip out of the bathroom. I was a little annoyed, due to me already being late, but I was just going to grab her after putting the food down and put her back in the bathroom. So, I fill up their dry food and wet food, and check on the other 2 kittens. There were only 2 in there, and I know because I petted each one. I then left the bathroom to grab Artemis. I closed the door quickly so the other 2 couldn't escape either, so it wasn't enough time for Artemis to run back in without me squishing her with the door. And I look around, and I can't find her anywhere. I look under my couches, under the chairs, in the bookshelf, in all their usual hiding spots, and she's nowhere. Then, all the kittens begin screaming in the bathroom in a strange way. I open the door, and Artemis is in there. Just a very strange experience. I know she ran out of the bathroom, and there was no way she could have snuck in there without me accidentally squishing her.